So how do you create microtopias, and why haven't I done anything about microtopia since 1993, other than having to support myself and feed my family? Uh, well, Microtopia can be brought into being simply by people deciding they want to do it. So when I first looked at it, I realized these structures of best practices in terms, so you start with these utility industries with an anchor university. Provides people their needs, and you can build things very slowly. You can uninstall the strip mall and put in a cobblestone, and you can put in real art and craftsmanship, because you're not in a hurried exploit. Everybody's rent is paid forever. Everybody's kids' college is paid for everybody. All their health care is paid for by everybody, because we've eliminated vast tracts of unneeded work. Now the question is, will we have all the same consumer goods? Well, that's a overlay. People are free to start businesses and buy and sell all they want. This is essentially a set of utility industries that's the most efficient way to deliver things to people, to end suffering and to end ignorance, and to return control and power to the people. So the question is, how do we deal with the huge amount of resources that Washington, Sacramento, or your country and your state want from you? Well, at first it will be a little bit tough, but if you take 100,000 people and each of them pledges $100,000, that would be 10 million, 100,000, 0.1, I think that would be 100,000 people at $100,000 each. Wouldn't that be 100 million? Would that be 10 billion? I think it would. Well, that would be enough to buy a county and develop it, and could be done with sweat equity. And then you can get in control of the county government resources if you went into a rural county. And obviously you don't want to create a cult situation, so you need to talk to the local people and make sure that they're on board with the idea of essentially using tax dollars to distribute amongst the people collectively, so that it's a real sense of ownership and it's not this second-hand thing. It's like you turn your government into a co-op, and if it makes oil revenues, everybody gets the oil revenues, or if their products that the community corporation invests in that pay off, they can do that. So you've got a real investment in your community, and everybody's a homeowner. The people who have no assets pledge a sweat equity. You're still going to have non-performing people and criminals, and that, in my opinion, the strange thing about Microtopia in this description is that you would have essentially expulsion, would be what would happen to people that were continually unable to live inside the community. And whether this expulsion was imprisonment or simply failing to qualify, I haven't completely solved that, but the amount of social problems it solves is huge, because you no longer have to employ people to be busy. You don't have to have growth. You can stop economic activity. And the fundamental economic analysis description of this is the Crusoe economics. So in traditional capitalist economics, if he makes an extra pair of shoes that you consume, there's a net increase in production that's occurred, so that the three of us now have more wealth. But actually, if there's a guy over there and he has a machine, and if he turns the handle, it'll crank something out, and a guy next to him says, crank out a pair of shoes for me, crank, hands it to him. In actual fact, that did not help you. It didn't help you if there's no, if it's essentially an automated function to simply produce that pair of shoes. The only time that machine's wealth is useful to you is so that it doesn't breed social problems in the other people. They're all happy and healthy and educated and polite, and the machine cranks out what you need. So the concept of having an economy with more and more consumption and growth doesn't work if you simply reduce it to this widget making machine. So if your community has a widget making machine and you put it right here, and you turn the handle 25% labor time. It can give you all your health care, all your education, all of your clothing and all of your food. And of course, every community isn't going to make all of its own stuff. There's going to be certain communities that have certain specialties, just like in the modern world, and there will be trade between them. And that is where every community essentially has to earn some hard currency. So that's the end of that.